Well, look, I'm very pleased to be in Shepparton today to meet with the council, to meet with fruit growers, to meet with workers from SPC Ardmona, and to be briefed on a whole lot of really important issues and challenges that Shepparton, the Golden Valley, indeed the Murray Valley as well, face. So it's always good to get out and about. It's always good to hear about these issues firsthand. So we're at the train station today as well. The Mayor, the CEO and others from the council came to Parliament House not that long ago, and they briefed me and some of my colleagues on the fundamental inadequacy of the train service here. Only 3 services a day, no train that gets a Shepparton person to Melbourne before 9:10 in the morning. Real challenges and real and quite obvious deficiencies between the linkages between Shepparton and the state's capital. Now, we know that the Golden Valley is strong. We know that Shepparton's a great place. We know that it's not just about people travelling to Melbourne. It's also Melbourne being linked with Shep, and that's an important point as well. So, again, I don't necessarily have all the answers to this problem, but the best thing is to come to Shepparton and be again further briefed by the council. Let them give us further insight into what improved public transport might mean for Shepparton, for the Golden Valley, for jobs, for training, but also for that connectivity not just to Melbourne, but Melbourne being better connected to the Golden Valley as well. Can I say that it's really important to come and hear about the practical experience that passengers are facing, the challenges businesses are facing in terms of public transport as well, and being able to be as mobile as possible. When we saw yesterday a really damning report that shows that V-line services are under extreme pressure, hundreds and hundreds of services where the total number of passengers was greater than the total number of seats. That's not safe. That's not a good situation for us to find ourselves in, and it speaks directly to the fact that V-line services are not being funded properly right across our state. So these are important issues, linking Shepparton to Melbourne and linking Melbourne to the Golden Valley much better. So that's why we're here today. The other reason we're here as well is that I know that growers and also workers and those across Shepparton in a broader sense are really very, very concerned about SPC Ardmona's decision. It's very sad, but we've got to do more than simply provide sympathy. I think there is a strong case for the state government to provide the $3 million at the VFF, and leaders in this community are calling for. It is simply not acceptable to put biosecurity at risk because you're too mean-spirited to come up with, in the scheme of things, a modest amount of money that I don't see as a cost. It is an investment in the safety and the security and the viability of an industry that's worth more than $1 billion, not just to the Goulburn and Murray Valleys, but to our state. And I cannot understand, when this community has so strongly supported the Liberal and National parties for so long, why the Liberal and National parties are nowhere to be seen when it comes to this absolutely clear threat to ask fruit growers who are facing such a difficult time to find the money to bulldoze their trees into the ground. That is wrong. That is absolutely wrong, and I think that the VFF are spot on with this. The $3 million should be provided, and I call on Peter Walsh and Dennis Napthine and Peter Ryan and all those others who are directly elected by the Shepparton community as well to do the right thing by growers, the right thing by jobs, the right thing by biosecurity by providing that $3 million. Well, the same people that bagged that important investment in irrigated agriculture are the same people now who won't provide a fraction of that cost to protect the biosecurity of this whole area, this market, this region. So I'm not surprised. People who got that irrigation question so fundamentally wrong are now the very same people, the Liberal and National parties, who are too mean-spirited, who would rather a grower spent money they don't have bulldozing their permanent plantings back into the ground than provide a modest amount of money to provide him, her and their family with the support that I think that they're fundamentally entitled to. This is about equity, but it's not just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. This is not a cost, it's an investment in the biosecurity of our fruit industry, and that is an investment that's worth making. I just can't understand, given how strongly the Liberal and National parties have been supported by this community, that they can turn their back and not be able to find that $3 million at this really difficult time. If they do it, I'll be the first one to say, well done, it's the right thing to do. We can be bipartisan about this, but it's been a long time now, quite days, weeks, since the VFF have called for this important support. The spring budding season is only a matter of weeks off. This is a real risk and a real issue, and Dennis Napthine should do not just the right thing, but the smart thing. There is a strong case to say that there's not been enough investment in terms of Shepparton Rail. I want to not just be focused on the past though, but to have a clear sense of the future. And I've said right the way through that 2013 was going to be a year where we spent a lot of time out there, not just talking to people, but actually listening and learning and better understanding challenges, but also better understanding the opportunities that with a bit of government investment, in this case it'd be a significant amount of money, you might be able to do some really important things. So that's why I was happy to give some time to the group of councillors and both the Mayor and others that came to Melbourne to talk about these issues, and that's why I've accepted their invitation to come up here and be briefed firsthand again.